What's up everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, back with another Daily Deck Tech video, and I got caught up with all of my viewer requests, and so we are back to our regularly scheduled programming. And today, I wanted to do a card that I had kind of missed when Final Fantasy came out. I've seen it a couple times in Arena, but not so much compared to the mono black version of him. We have Sephiroth, Fallen Hero. So, who is Sephiroth, Fallen Hero? He's a 7/5 for 5, which is, you know, pretty good rate, even if he didn't have an ability. You know, if we were playing like 97 Magic, you remember 4/4 for 5 was pretty good. But he has an ability whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may put a cell counter on target creature, and then until end of turn, each modified creature you control has base, power, and toughness 7/5, so they become like him. And of course, modifying is equipments, auras, and counters are modifications. And then he has Reunion, which is pay 3 mana, sacrifice a modified creature, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You can play that at any point in time because it does not say play this only as a sorcery, which is pretty interesting because nowadays Wizards is pretty obsessed with the play this only as a sorcery mechanic. So you can bring him back at the end of your opponent's turn. He untaps, and then he gets to do his thing again. So obviously, we're going to have some Voltron theme. We're going to try to pump all of our dudes. Have some token generation in here that we pump up. But let's see how we get it to work today. So first and foremost, we have the Aether Spark. It is a artifact legendary planeswalker equipment. That's a word soup for you. It has 4 loyalty and is a 4 cost. And as it enters, as long as the Aether Spark is attached to a creature, Aether Spark can't be attacked and has, whenever the equipped creature deals combat damage during your turn, put that many loyalty counters on the Aether Spark. And then you can +1 to attach it to a creature and put a 1/1 counter on that creature. -5, draw 2 cards, and -10, add 10 mana of any one color. For our creatures today, we have some fun little dudes. We have Absent Falconer, which has Outlast, which is you can tap a white and tap it to put a 1/1 counter on it. And each creature you control with a 1/1 counter has flying. Adept Water Shaper from Lorwyn Eclipsed, with some very beautiful art, might I say, has other tapped creatures you control have Indestructible. So since you're going to be attacking anyway, you want your stuff to live. We have Akiri Furious Voyager, 3/3 for 3. Whenever you attack a player with 1 or more equipped creatures, draw a card. And then you may unattach an equipment from a creature you control. If you do, tap that creature gains Indestructible at the end of turn. It's a good way for some instant protection. We have Arcbound Prototype. It is a 0/0 for 2 with modular, so it comes into the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it. And then when it dies, you can put its 1/1 counters on target artifact creature. You could always make the option to go and put all the other Arcbound creatures in here because they're just simple and easy ways to get 1/1 counter creatures. We have Blade Historian, attacking creatures you control have Double Strike. Bureau Headmaster, equipment spells cost 1 less. Equipment abilities cost 1 less. We have Cloud, Planet's Champion. He's a 4/4 for 5. During your turn, as long as Cloud is equipped, it has Double Strike and Indestructible. Equipped abilities, you activate that target Cloud, costs 2 less to activate. Danitha, so she has First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, and Aura and equipment spells cost 1 less. We have Envoy of the Ancestors, also without last, and modified creatures you control have Lifelink. Gets you some of that life back, so if people are swinging back at you, you have a little bit more cushion. We have Firion, the Wild Rose, is a 3/3 for 3. Equipped creatures you control have haste, and whenever a non-token equipment you control enters, create a token that's a copy of it, except it has this equipment's equip ability costs 2 less to activate, and then you sacrifice it at the end of turn. We have Iroas, God of Victory. It's got, devotion to 7, so you have to have 7 red and white mana pips out there for it to be a creature. Creatures you control have Good Old Menace and prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. We have Iron Apprentice in here. Look at him. He's a little robot. He is a 0/0 for 1. He enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter, and when he dies, if he had a counter on it, put those counters on target creature you control. We have Lightning, Army of 1. First Strike, Trample, Haste. First Strike, Trample, Lifelink. Whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player, until end of turn, if a source you control would deal damage to that player or permanent that player controls, it deals double that damage It's dead. So she has first strike. So this is really fun because first strike does its damage before regular combat damage. So if you swing her in, she'll do her first strike damage, which will then double the damage for all of your subsequent non-first strike damage creatures. Luminous Moth, so if a creature you control would die, it comes back to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter. I really like this card, and personal aside, I really want the Mothra version of it. I just haven't had time or resources or ability to get it currently. We have Pure Steel Paladin, which is whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. And then Metalcraft, which is 3 or more artifacts. Equip costs are 0. We have Sram. Whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle card, draw a card. As an aside, because I'm an oldie who likes Conan the Barbarian, when I see Sram, all I can think of is Kram. But then we have Swift Blade Vindicator. Double strike, vigilance, trample. It's a 1/1 for 2. But you're going to equip it or enchant it, and then it's going to become Big Scary McLarge Huge. We have Vincent, Vengeful Atoner, 3/3 for 3, Menace, and whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on Vincent. And he has Chaos. Whenever Vincent deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent if Vincent's power is 7 or greater. So he's going to get boosted by Sephiroth. Sorceries, we got Blast Act. Pretty simple, straightforward. We have Damning Verdict, destroy all creatures with no counters on them. Impolite Entrance, target creature gains trample and haste until end of turn, draw a card. Sabine's Reclamation, bring something back from the graveyard. Steel Shipper's Gift, tutors up an equipment card. United Front, this is one of our token makers. Create X 1/1 white ally creature tokens, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So you're going to create a bunch of dudes, and then you're going to put a bunch of counters on all of your dudes, and that's going to get you a whole bunch of 7/5s if you're allowed to attack. Wake the Past returns all artifact cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. They gain haste until end of turn. Instants, we have Big Score, discard draw. Boros Charm does a menagerie of things. It can deal 4 damage, give your permanents indestructible, target creature gains double strike. Chaos Warp, Path to Exile, Generous Gift, Swords to Plowshares, and Struck of Midnight for some removal. We have Demand Answers, which is again discard or sacrifice an artifact card to draw 2. Inventory Management, split second, so nobody can really counter it. For each R and equipment you control, you may attach it to a creature you control. Throw a Possibility, discard, draw 2, and Unbreakable Formation. Creatures you control gain indestructible to end of turn. It has Addendum, which means if you cast it during your main phase, you put a 1/1 counter on each of those creatures and they gain vigilance. This is also a great way. This turns a protection spell into a kill spell, pretty much. Artifacts, we have Endurial, Narsil Reforged. We have Arcane Signet in here as a mana rock, Boros Signet, and Sol Ring as mana rocks. Talisman as well. We have Basilisk Collar for some lifelink, Death Touch. Batterskull has Living Weapon, lifelink, and Vigilance, and +4/+4 to the creature. Blade Hold, War Whip, has from Mirrodin, so it comes in with a token on it. Equip creatures, equipment abilities you activate of other equipment cost 1 less. Equip creatures, Double Strike. Bloodforged Battle Axe. When a creature connects with this, you make a copy of it. Buster Sword, equipped creature gets +3/+2. When an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then you may cast a spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the damage, depending on its mana cost. We have Dark Steel Plate for Indestructible because it's cheaper than Mithril Coat. Lightning Greaves, Swiftfoot Boots, those are protection boots made for walking. Skull Clamp, which you can equip it to your other stuff, but you can also use it with United Front. Which, yes, it doesn't auto-kill them to draw, but it is still just generically good utility. And we have Trailblazer's Boots, which gives you non-basic land walk. For our enchantments, we have Airbender's Ascension. Whenever a creature enters, you put it on there, and at the end of your turn, you can blink. We have Assemble the Legion, puts 1/1 dudes into play. Cathar's Crusade, whenever a creature you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Fighter Class, when Fighter Class enters the battlefield, search your library for an equipment, reveal it, put it into your hand. Level 2 is equipment abilities you activate cost 2 less. And whenever a creature you control attacks up to 1 target creature blocks it this combat if able. Forge Anew makes it so You can return equipment from your graveyard to the battlefield, and as long as it's your turn, you may activate equipment abilities like Instants. And the first time you activate an equipment ability, it costs 0. We have Lasting Fire, which is at the beginning of each end step. If you put a counter on a creature this turn, this enchantment deals 2 damage to each opponent. We have Reconnaissance. So this is some crafty little techniques. So you can attack with your Sephiroth, and if they're going to kill it, you can remove it from combat so nothing happens. We have Rising of the Day. Creatures you control have haste. And Sigarda's Aid. You can cast Aura and equipments as though they have flash. And whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach it to target creature. We have Abandoned Air Temple. This card's really strong in this deck because it puts a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Karn's Bastion for a tiny bit of Proliferate. Nesting Grounds to move counters. Rogue's Passage for unblockable. Tyrant Sanctum because it does put a 1/1 counter and on a creature. And Indestructible counter if you want to lose it. But yeah, I went for the Voltron and 1/1 counters route rather than the Aura route. But let me know what you think of the deck in the comments down below. Do you have Sephiroth as a commander? And if you want to see your commander made into a deck tech, drop it in the comments down below and I'll get that done for you. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.